Today, I would like to share my experience of the last 11 years in Australia. So it has been a long journey for me, and I want to use this video to reflect and also to reflect and to remember what I've gone through with my life, and to share my experience. So I came to Australia when I was 15 years old. It was a winter month, and because I came from Vietnam, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, so winter in Australia was very cold for me. Winter in Melbourne, I remember I was freezing cold, and I started living with my aunt and uncle and my cousins. After that, I start year 10, 11. I start year 10 at a public school in Melbourne. And I didn't have to go through English test because the school said my English is good enough to go to start year 10. So I start year 10, and I remember I was quite struggling. I couldn't understand what the science textbook was saying, and I didn't have any friends. But luckily I went and then I met an Iranian girl called Baha and a Vietnamese background girls called Lavi, and both of them was really my first friends in Australia, and they really helped me a lot to get through. And then I always so during high school I always had the feeling that I really don't want people to look down on me, so I worked very, very hard to improve my English, to make sure that my mark is great. And then I entered VCE, and at that time I had an idea that I want to become a doctor, because unfortunately my mom passed away when I was 10 years old. So I chose math, mathematics, specialist math, English as a second language, Vietnamese, chemistry, biology. So that's what the 6 subjects I did for my high school in VCE. The school was very, very supportive, even though the school I went to was not a really good school by ranking standard, but the teachers was very, very supportive. The teacher helped me a lot. I didn't want to ask my dad for tutoring money because I know that he already paid a lot of tuition fee for me to be an international student in Australia. So just a reminder that I came as international student. So I didn't ask for tutoring money. I just basically asked my the friends in the higher year level to, when they finish their exam, then I'll buy their books. I'll buy their tutoring books. So I had a lot of tutoring material from bought from people in the upper year levels. I also really asked the teachers at school for help. I had a really amazing English teacher. She read all my essays, and even though it's like, I just felt like she was like private tutor to me, although she had a whole class, but she really helped me. She read all the essays I sent by email, and I got through VCE. I did quite well, good enough for me to go into Bachelor of Biomedicine at Melbourne Uni. So at the University of Melbourne, you cannot do become a medicine straight after year 12. According to new Melbourne model, you have to do a bachelor degree first before doing a 4-year doctor of medicine. So I went in, study Bachelor of Biomedicine at University of Melbourne, and then in my first year of biomedicine, I met really amazing friends, and the friendships that I still really feel like close to me until now. I met Amy, Bauku, Wilpo, Vanessa Wong, Aneta, Leon, Kevin, Katrina, all of them really, and also Nick Golding, and all of them have really helped me get through biomedicine, and I really felt very supportive. And I really just want to say thank you for Amy and Vanessa for really support me to get through to get through a lot of struggles. I did biomedicine, and I majored in biochemistry and molecular biology. So because at that time I know that I need to get my permanent residence first before being able to do medicine, because my dad really cannot afford to pay for my tuition course for studying medicine. So I majored in biochemistry, and then after, I also did GAMSAT test, which is a special test, 6 hours long, to test like your IQ, your EQ. So for a special, it's a selection criteria to get into medicine. And I did a GAMSAT. I also start tutoring high school students in math and chemistry, so I can earn a bit of pocket money. And then after biomedicine, I didn't apply for medicine like many other friends I had. I went to RMIT Bandura and I did a 1-year graduate diploma in education. Because I had 3 years biomedicine and then 1 year graduate diploma in education, together they qualified me to become a secondary school teacher in Australia to teach chemistry and biology for high school students. And during that gap year, I say a gap year because I also did my IELTS test, which is an international English language test system, and I did it quite well, and I got really like had the highest band, and that's how because I qualified as teacher and I did very well in English, Australian government granted me a permanent resident visa by Skilled Independent Migration, Subclass 189. I put the link below if anyone interested in it. And then after that's how I could start my Doctor of Medicine degree as a permanent resident. So my dad didn't have to pay so much money anymore. And then when I already made a video about my review, my experience of the 4-year Doctor of Medicine. I really enjoyed it. I've grown up a lot. I met amazing friends. So transforming from a medical student to a doctor was an amazing journey for me. And I really want to say thank you for my family, my friends, the tutors, professors, and the patients who really helped me get through and become a doctor like I always wished for. And then after 4 years, yeah, and that's how I am today up to now. I also continued tutoring during my 4 years Doctor of Medicine because as a way for me to earn pocket money. So I tutor a lot of high school students, and one of the most amazing achievements was that I really helped a student who has Asperger syndrome, a type of autism, going from a fail to get into Bachelor of Art at Monash. So it was my biggest achievement. I also encouraged many students who really want to do medicine, as well, so to give them advice, really mentors for them. I also was able to complete a few research projects and got published and as first author, and I feel like I've achieved, and I feel proud of my achievement, and I really can not wait to continue working hard so I can achieve more in the future. So today I started working as junior doctor, and I feel really privileged and lucky. Thank you so much for listening to me. So that's a summary of my journey.